Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's daily news highlights. Today is 20th July 2024. So let us try to understand what are the important news which are required for you as a civil service aspirant. Microsoft update flow triggers worldwide chaos. A faulty update knocked out several Windows computers and servers around the world on Friday, sending them through a boot loop featuring the so-called blue screen of death, disrupting aviation, banking, telecommunication, hospital, TV channels, and other companies around the world. So basically, this was a confusion that has actually created yesterday, which affected various areas of our development. So one is banking, one is civil aviation, telecommunication, hospitals, etc. Okay, as we all know that we are living in a globalized era not only in the perspective of economy but in the technical aspects, in the telecommunications aspect and the technological aspect also. We are living in a globalized era and majority of the people are actually using Microsoft Windows. So if there are some issues with this, it will affect their server, it will affect their day-to-day functioning. Exactly the same thing happened yesterday because of a faulty update by CrowdStrike, a Texas-based cybersecurity firm. It actually causes outages for millions. Okay, so this is an important news. Why? Because you need to have an idea about how it is affecting, how the technology is affecting the development, how the technology is affecting the day-to-day affairs of human beings. So here two important things are there. One is regarding Microsoft. As we all know, it's a multinational company. Microsoft provides the technical support and the software support for the various companies and services all around the globe, right? And the other one is CERT in. Okay, so what is CERT in? The Indian Computer Emergency Team, that is CERT in, under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, shared these steps in an advisory in the afternoon. So CERT in, you need to have an idea. Just go and search about CERT in and what is its role in the administration, especially in the technical or the technological administration part. Okay, so these are the two important things that you need to note, and which is actually coming in page number 1, and we can say that it is coming under General Studies 3, especially the science and technology part. UPSC files criminal case against Pooja Khedkar for forgery. So it's very important news as you people are preparing for civil services examination. The Union Public Service Commission said on Friday it has registered a criminal case against probationary IAS officer Pooja Khedkar for allegedly forging identity papers and misrepresenting and falsifying facts to obtain extra attempts in the Civil Services Examination 2022 beyond the prescribed limit. So as we all know that there are a prescribed limit for your attempts. So in order to get more attempts, what she did was she entered into malpractice or the forgery. The UPSC issued a show cause notice for cancellation of her candidature in the 2022 examination and debarment from the future examination for selection. So we can understand that a case has been registered for forgery and cheating under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita (BNS) and sections of the Information Technology Act and the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. So three important acts are actually mentioned here. So please try to have an idea about these acts. As we all know, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, this was recently only the name has been changed. So please try to have an idea about these three important acts. I'm not saying that for examination perspective this news is highly relevant, but as a civil service aspirant you need to have an idea about the ethical matters related with the UPSC and its examination and its appointment. Okay, so this news is actually coming under page number 4, and we can say that this is coming under General Studies 2, Indian Polity and Governance. Ex-Foreign Secretary Vinay Khatra is now ambassador to US. A new appointment is going to happen in US, and especially at a situation where India's relation with United States is not at a good level. Okay, there are reasons for that. Yesterday in the news discussion we already mentioned about it. Okay, regarding the autonomy aspect, the strategic autonomy aspects and all, we already discussed about it. I hope you have read that particular editorial also. So in this circumstance only, this appointment is going to happen. Ex Foreign Secretary Vinay Kwatra is going to be the new ambassador to US. So amid differences with the United States over India's ties with Russia and a number of other issues, the New Delhi has announced that it will send Vinay Khatra, who retired as Foreign Secretary last week, to Washington as the India's new ambassador, filing a position that has been lying vacant for over 6 months. Okay, it's a very important initiative, it's a very important move, because the foreign ambassador is actually taking care of the relation between these two countries. Okay, they act as a bridge between the relation between these two countries. So it is a very important appointment that is actually happening. So please read about this particular article, because in the article they already mentioned about where are the problems associated. Okay, what are the important reasons for this conflict, okay, and how we can expect a solution with the appointment of the new ambassador. All those things are mentioned here. Please go through it. Please read this article and make your own notes. And this article is coming in page number 4, General Studies 2, International Relations. UPSC chairperson Manoj Soni quits 5 years before completion of tenure. So the news is actually coming under page number 5, General Studies 2, Indian Polity. So here what we need to understand is UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. They conduct the examination, various recruitment examination, especially the IAS examination is also conducted by UPSC only. UPSC is a constitutional body as mandated under Article 315 to 323, Part 14, Chapter 2 of the Constitution of India. The Commission conducts several examinations on behalf of the Union government. It also conducts civil service examination every year and recommends candidates for appointment to the IAS, the Indian Foreign Service, the Indian Police Service, and the Central Services Group A and Group B. So that's the importance of Union Public Service Commission. So in this context, try to understand about Union Public Service Commission, who are the members of the Union Public Service Commission, and how the appointment is actually happening and how the resignation is happening. So if the Union Public Service Commission chairman is appointed by the president, the resignation letter is also will be addressed to the president. So here you can see that Mr. Soni is learned to have submitted his resignation to the President of India. Okay, so try to understand about the functions of UPSC, about the institution UPSC as an institution, and also how the members are appointed in the UPSC. Please try to have an idea about these things. Wrong-headed policy. So this is regarding the Karnataka bill on reserving jobs for locals. We already discussed about it in the in last day's newspaper. Despite the fact that attempts to provide reservation in jobs for local workers have been proven unconstitutional and have been rejected by courts, the temptation to pander to nativist sentiments remains among state governments. Okay, so this is a news which actually addresses that particular issue, whereas these native sentiments is sometimes creating problems. Okay, when they are coming up with certain laws, certain legislations, sometimes that affect the constitutional values also. So here it is clearly affecting the equality and freedom in our constitution. So they are mentioning about Article 16(3) of the constitution, where reservation is mentioned. So please try to have an idea about these important articles, because it is directly connected with the constitution. So Article 14 to Article 18, which mainly talks about equality, and Article 19 talks about the right to freedom. All these are coming under fundamental rights, and how this particular bill is going against these provisions. Try to have an idea about it and read about the bill also, what is the crux, what is the essence of that bill, and also how it is actually affecting the fundamental rights enshrined in the constitution. Try to have an idea about it, and this is actually coming in page number 6, and we can say that it is a part of General Studies 2, especially Indian Polity and Governance. The promise of parametric insurance. The warmest year on record was 2023. A report estimated that losses from natural disasters amounted to $280 billion in 2023, of which only about $100 billion was insured. So here you can actually see a gap, a huge gap you will be able to see. The gap in insurance coverage was particularly wide between developed and developing economies. With the world experiencing a surge in extreme weather events, the insurance industry needs to enhance disaster resilience by devising a number of alternative methods of coverage. So there should be efficient alternative methods of coverage, because the natural calamities or the problems associated with the disasters are increasing. Now the question is, what is parametric insurance? The term parametric insurance describes a type of insurance contract that insures a policyholder against the occurrence of a specific event by paying a set amount based on the magnitude of the event. So that is the main point. So based on the magnitude of the event only, they are paying the set amount, as opposed to the magnitude of the losses in the traditional indemnity policy. So usually in the traditional policies, what they are actually following was the magnitude of the losses. They are identifying, or they are trying to find out the magnitude of the losses, and based on that the payment will be made. But here in parametric insurance, based on the magnitude of the event, they are paying the insurance. At present, the globally accepted method of disaster risk reduction is to transfer risk through indemnity-based insurance products, which require physical assessment of damage for payouts. So it needs to be assessed physically. However, the past is no longer a precedent for what could follow. When calamities such as cyclones, flood, tsunamis and storms hit large population and wipe out settlements, especially of the economically disadvantaged communities who have little record of their assets, it becomes difficult to verify the losses. So now I think you can understand, especially for the economically disadvantaged sections, it will be very difficult for them to keep the documents. Why? Because during natural calamities, most of their assets will be wiped out, so they won't be able to show any kind of evidence. So this indemnity policy will not work in that time. The only thing that works is by analyzing the magnitude of the event, they will be able to pay the insurance. So that is why here we are emphasizing on the parametric insurance. In India, one of the earliest uses of parametric policies was crop insurance, initiated by the government some years ago. The successful Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is based on verification of loss, while a new parametric product, the restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme, is based on the threshold limits, not requiring the field verification. So already this parametric insurance is in place in India, but it is actually working on a different level. That is a different area, that is the crop insurance. Over the years, the private insurance industry in India has witnessed a rising number of offers of parametric products, customized for states, corporations, self-help groups, and microfinance institutions. They insure disasters such as extreme precipitation, which is an endemic issue in the Northeast, cyclones, which are a standard occurrence in coastal states, and extreme heat, a suddenly prominent and much published hazard. Who should bear the burden of paying premiums for parametric insurance coverage? Nagaland was the first state to buy a parametric cover for extreme precipitation in 2021. Based on the lessons learned, it has tendered for the second improved version by fixing an absolute annual premium, duration and rate online, allowing bidders to compete over lower threshold limits and maximized payouts. So basically, the importance of parametric insurance is increasing. Why? Because the intensity of climate change, the intensity of the environmental problems, it is unexpected. So we need to have parametric insurance. We need to have more parametric insurance facilities so that people will get more coverage. It's very, very important to understand this. So please try to read about this particular article, because it will give you a new perspective on the insurance in our country, and the new scope for the insurance, and what your perspective will be. It will help you to frame your own perspectives regarding the insurance industry in our country. So it is really important. Please do read it, make your own notes regarding the article. India plans to enter into carbon crediting mechanism with Japan. So in this era of climate change, we are witnessing a lot of conventions and conferences which are associated with the climate change, global warming, etc. So in this circumstance, India is actually planning to enter into carbon crediting mechanism with Japan, which is a very important initiative. And this we can say that it is coming under General Studies 2 and 3. Why General Studies 2? It is mainly connected with the bilateral relations. And why General Studies 3? Because they are going to address a problem connected with the environment and climate change. India is looking to enter into carbon trading and carbon credit adjustment mechanism with Japan. The two countries plan to sign a memorandum of cooperation for setting up a joint credit mechanism which with emission reduction credits being shared as per cabinet note prepared in July and reviewed by Business Line. So it's a very important initiative that we are actually doing. The proposal will boost job creation by attracting investments in low carbon and clean technologies. A draft cabinet note has been prepared authorizing the MOEFCC, that is the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, for signing of the MOC, that Memorandum of Cooperation between the Government of India and the Government of Japan in consultation with the concerned ministries and Ministry of External Affairs. The draft has approval of the Environment Ministry. So it's very important to understand about this. So what is the basis or the basis of forming this JCM? That is also very important. This JCM will be formed under Article 6.2 of the Paris Agreement. So it is based on the Paris Agreement only we are going to enter into a carbon crediting mechanism with Japan. So please read about it, try to understand about the carbon credit system, what is JCM, Joint Carbon Credit Mechanism, and also about the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so please try to have an idea about this, and also what are the recent developments in connection with India-Japan relations. That is also really important. So, okay, the news is actually coming in page number 11. Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory illegal, says UN top court. So United Nations top court has actually mentioned that the Israel occupation of Palestinian territory is illegal. International Court of Justice statement called an advisory opinion is not binding, but it comes amid mounting concern over the war since October. Netanyahu slams the court's opinion as a decision of lies. Hamas calls for immediate international action. Very important. The United Nations top court said in a sweeping opinion on Friday that Israel's decades-long occupation of Palestinian territory was illegal and needed to end as soon as possible. So it's a very important judgment. Why? Because usually we will not see such kind of a response against the Israel government. So now we can see such a response against the Israel government. The advisory opinion by the Hague-based International Court of Justice was immediately slammed as a decision of lies. Okay, so by whom? By the Israeli government. The ICJ statement called an advisory opinion is not binding, but it comes amid mounting concern over the death toll and destruction in Israel's war against Hamas, sparked by the group's brutal October 7 attacks. So it's very important to understand about it, because it's a very long conflict. The Israel-Palestinian conflict is a very long one, and in this context only the ICJ is mentioning that Israel occupation of Palestinian territory is illegal. So very important news which is coming under international relations, especially Palestine-Israel relations, and also the role of international organization in resolving the bilateral issues. So here the international organization is United Nations and its court, that is ICJ, International Court of Justice. Try to have an idea about International Court of Justice, United Nations, and a clear clarity about what is happening in Palestine and Israel. All eyes on election date in Sri Lanka amid concern over bill. Very important. So the elections are nearing in Sri Lanka. Why? Because they are going to witness an election after that long economic problems. Okay, so this elections, citizens are actually waiting. They are waiting for the first election since a mass uprising dislodged former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in 2022 when the country's economy crashed. So Sri Lanka was going through a lot of turmoil during that time, and then a kind of stability they were able to achieve with the help of international organizations and with the help of other countries. And now they are going to witness another election. So all eyes on this particular election is very important. So please try to understand about the situation of Sri Lanka and what is going to happen in Sri Lanka, and please have an idea about the history. Okay, what is this history? The economic problem that happened in Sri Lanka in 2022, and based on that only the head of the state or the president of the country was actually removed during that time. So read this article and try to have an idea about the present situation in Sri Lanka. So this news is coming in page number 12, and we can say that it is coming under General Studies 2, International Relations. A very important announcement regarding the Prelims and Mains 2025 course, where students who are ready to appear for the 2025 course, you don't need to worry about the preparation journey, because we will be able to help you. You can download the application, IPM IAS application, and in the application you will have the course for prelims and mains 2025. And before joining there, please try to take our scholarship test so that you will be able to get a lot of benefits out of it. So please do take our scholarship test. The link is there in the description. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video is beneficial for you. Please subscribe, share and like our channel. Share it with your friends, and it will definitely help them. Subscribe to our channel so that you will get more information related with the current affairs and the civil service updates. And yesterday we have done an important video on the US presidential election. So please go back and see that, so that you will be able to relate it with what is happening in United States, what is the process of election process in United States, and what is the process of election process in India.